A police officer pulls over on a quiet county road and sees something rise from the field. April 19th, 1978, late afternoon, edging toward evening. Spring light still hanging over western Wisconsin, near the village of Colfax. Farm country, rolling fields, tree lines, two-lane roads cutting through open land. The kind of place where a passing car stands out, and a light in a field stands out even more. According to reported accounts, Mark Coltrane, a local police officer, is on patrol. Sources differ on how much is documented about his personal life, but in retellings, he's described as a working officer, a trained observer, used to assessing ordinary things quickly, and this begins as something ordinary. A patrol stop, roadside, quiet. Then the radio crackles, static, interference, unusual enough to be noticed. He looks towards a nearby field and sees something. Not a distant light, not a star. A metallic-looking object, low, rising, reportedly dish-shaped, reflective. Some accounts describe a domed upper section, others simply say circular and moving. Not random movement, not drifting with wind. According to later descriptions, it shifts position in short, controlled changes. At one point appearing closer, at another, repositioned. Not because he thinks it moved, but because he says he watched it move. And that matters, because he reportedly has a Polaroid camera with him. He gets out, raises it, takes photographs, Polaroids, instant film, the kind that develops in your hand. And now, there's more than memory, there are images, and according to some reported versions, the photographs were not the only thing discussed afterward. There were also claims of physical traces, flattened vegetation in the area where the object was said to have hovered or risen. Some accounts describe patches of grass appearing pressed down. Others mention possible ground effects, subtle disturbance to the field, marks that some interpreted as unusual. How extensive those traces were, and whether they were formally documented, varies between sources, but the claims matter because they add a second layer to the case. Not just something seen, not just something photographed, but possibly something that affected the ground as well. And if even part of those reports were accurate, then the question changes. Because now you're not only asking what appeared in the sky, you're asking whether something may have left an effect behind. That's where some researchers place added weight on the case. Not because the trace reports prove anything, but because they were reported alongside the witness account and the photographs. Not decades later as a separate legend, but as part of the case narrative itself. Some later discussions claim the object appeared only a few hundred feet away. Others are more cautious. Distance remains debated. Some reported versions also mention luminous spheres associated with the sighting, though not all sources carry that detail. And then, according to the account, the object accelerates away, gone. The field returns to stillness. The road is just a road again. But the event doesn't end there, because afterward, the photographs circulate, researchers take interest, debate begins. Some argue the witness matters because he was trained to observe, because he reported specifics, because he produced photographs. Others push skepticism, suggesting a model, a misread nearby object, even a hubcap theory in later discussion. But none closes the case for everyone. And that's why it survives. Because it doesn't rest on one vague story. It rests on a named witness, a reported sequence, physical photographs, and disagreement that never fully resolves. Because somewhere on a quiet road near Colfax, an officer stopped for an ordinary moment, and by his account, watched something extraordinary rise from the field, and managed, just in time, to take the picture.